Your future requires to know that you, my friend, that me, that I will step to the plate when it comes to cultivating the mind for sound decision making. Okay, let's talk about decision making. Your future requires for you to be a sound and solid decision maker. One of the most important things in life is called decision making. Now, there's no formal education or training in this area that you probably have had up until now in your life. If I think back, I don't think I've ever attended a class on decision making, and yet that's one of the most important things and most important skills to have in life, in business, in family, in almost everything. Now, you have to go one step further and think positive decision making. Not just decision making, but making positive decisions. And God within you has the ability to bring to life the thing that you decide if you will be definite with the infinite. In other words, if you will be decided about what it is that you want, God has the ability to manifest what you want through you, what you desire, your highest desire. God has the ability to manifest that through you if you will just come to decision about it. Now, they say that indecision is the second root of all evil. And I believe that to be true. Now, here's a verse that I don't think you've ever looked at this verse this way, but Job 22, verse 28, there it says, "You shall decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you." You shall decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. A decree can only happen if you have made a decision about something. A decree is a decision. You're saying, this is what I want. And when you're decreeing something and saying, this is what I want, what you've done is you are giving an instruction to the mind. You are giving an instruction to the mind of God. And you're saying, this is what I desire. Ask and you shall receive. God has the ability to do that for you, but a lot of people are challenged because they don't come to a place of decision making. And I have found out, maybe you have found out the same, but whenever I didn't make a decision, I found that other people made decisions for me, and I didn't enjoy the outcome of those decisions. In other words, I suffered because I gave away my God power to people that were decision makers. See, Paul Martinelli, my mentor, he says that a decision that is not backed by action is not a decision at all. So further than just making a decision, you have to go one step further. You have to take action. And so let's talk about action, okay? I'll tell you a brief story that can illustrate this. There was a young man who wanted to find out about the future of his life. And he went to a soothsayer. And he asked her, what will my life look like in the future? She said to him, I'm going to draw two circles. He drew a circle, a white circle, and she drew on this side a black circle. And she said, I'm going to put this insect in the middle. And if this insect crawls to the right in the white circle, then your life will be beautiful. If this insect crawls to the left into the black circle, then your life is doom and gloom. Well, the young man sat and he started to watch as the insect was placed in the middle and it began to crawl towards the white circle. He got excited. But then it turned around and started creeping towards the black circle. And the young man watched with anticipation. Almost as it got to the line of the circle, he stretched his hand, picked up the insect, and gently placed it in the middle of the white circle. And the soothsayer was astonished by that. She said, what made you do that? I have never seen a person intervene in their own affairs like this. And the young man got up and he said, I wasn't going to sit here and let my life go to doom and gloom while I have the power to do something about it. I said to you in the beginning here that a decision not backed by action is no decision at all. And so you have to do one more thing. You have to decide and desire to take action. So let's talk about those things. The first thing you must do is get into the habit of doing the following things. Are you ready? You have to get in the habit of doing the following things. You see, because people don't decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. So here are the things that you need to do. I have 4 things for you. Ready? The first thing, decide what you want to do, be, and have. Decide it. Do you want more money? Do you want better health? Do you want a beautiful wife or a handsome spouse? Do you want to stop depending on other people for money? Do you want a bigger house? Do you want to be healthy? Decide those things. And then write those things down when you have decided. The second thing, come to agreement with yourself. Look at your list of what you have decided. And then come to agreement with yourself about it. Agree that you are the one who deserves what you want. In other words, writing this thing down is like a contract with God in a way. It's like a covenant. You making that decision is like a covenant. I know you've never heard it told that way. But anytime you have a contract with someone, you can guarantee you it's going to be on a piece of paper. Decide that you want it. And decide and know it in your knower that you deserve what you desire, what you decided. Okay, number 3, you have to come to a place of believing it. Okay? Your belief system needs to accept that this is what you want and that you deserve it. Decide that you are the one to whom the good that you desire belongs. Okay? Decide that you are the one to whom the good that you desire belongs. I want you to write this thing down because this is going to be key. A lot of people make decisions, but they let other people talk them out of the good that they desire. Decide that you are the one to whom the good that you desire belongs. And so the 4th thing is be at peace. Once you have decided, once you've come to agreement, once you have believed, come to peace with it. And leave it in God's hand. I don't say stop praying about it. I say leave it in God's hands. In other words, believe it and then see that it is accomplished in your mind. Because again, what are we talking about? All these things are happening in your mind. We're talking about cultivating your mind for your future. Your future requires to know that you are going to have time enough to decide what you want. You're going to agree with it. You're going to come to agreement with it because a house divided in itself cannot stand. Your mind divided cannot conquer. You have to decide it and then you have to believe. And then the next thing, you have to be at peace with it. Believe that God, in His infinite power, is going to do His part. Romans 11, verse 33, there I believe it says that God's ways are past finding out. And they are past finding out for he who decides what he wants. Because He knows what He wants, and God, through you, can be able to manifest it if you have decided it. But a lot of people haven't decided it. They're praying for something, but they haven't decided that they are in agreement with it. Now, coming to agreement, have you ever seen a person get married and then they, even though they are in the relationship, they're still thinking about their exes or their, they said I do, but didn't really do because, they thought that it was better when they were with so-and-so. What that is a person who has not come to agreement. I want you to understand, agreement is important. You're going to need to agree that you desire what you desire. And you're going to need to be fully present in that environment, okay? Now, we can't talk about decision making and not talk about consequences, okay? We cannot talk about decisions and not talk about consequences. It's important to look at the consequences of decision making because decisions give birth to consequences, okay? So here are 4 quick points that I think will help you, and I think you should write these down as far as decision making is concerned. Consequences are more important than decisions. I know that sounds crazy. Consequences are more important than decisions. Don't ever make the decision more important than the consequence. I'll explain that. Number 2, people say that they live with bad decisions. Really, you don't live with bad decisions. You live with consequences of the decisions. It only takes a second to make a decision, but you can live with that consequence for a lifetime. Dr. Miles Monroe said that. Now, number 3, study the consequences before making the decision. If you're going to go through something, if you're going to do something, study the consequences. Read books, find out, online, go to the library, find out what decisions were made by other people regarding the thing that you're going to decide about, and then make a decision. Number 4, don't base your decisions on the advice of those who don't have to bear with the results. Don't base your decisions based on the advice of those who don't have to bear with the results afterwards, okay? Now, make sure that the choices that you make are worth the losses that you will take. You have to make sure the choices that you make are worth the losses that you will take. I needed to repeat those points because these things are really important. And there is one more thing that John Maxwell, my mentor, says. He says that a good decision made today is better than a great decision made tomorrow. In other words, you and I just have to get to a place of deciding what it is that we want. And then we have to do the very next thing. We have to decide that we are the one who deserve the good that we want. And then we have to believe that God will do it for us. Okay? And then at number 4, you have to be at peace that God will do it. And I believe that your future requires you to have these tools in order for you to fully execute in your kingdom mandate and your kingdom vision.